This is a talk on Abdu'l-bahá, the center of the covenant. The relationship between Abdu'l-bahá and Baha'u'llah. The bond and the closeness between father and son is very moving, especially reading about how Abdu'l-bahá cared for his father, showed him the utmost love, and shielded him from his enemies. He showed such reverence towards his father. When he wanted to visit Baha'u'llah, he would walk the distance between Akka and Bahji. On arriving in front of the mansion, he would lay his forehead on the sometimes sodden ground as a mark of respect and reverence. It might be interesting here to mention that one of the reasons why Abdu'l-bahá stayed in Akka and did not move with the Blessed Beauty to the mansions of Mazra'eh and Bahji was that his half-brother Mirza Muhammad Ali was so jealous of him. By staying away from Baha'u'llah, Abdu'l-bahá hoped to somewhat dampen the fires of jealousy. Baha'u'llah, on the other hand, on seeing Abdu'l-bahá approaching, called on the members of the household, and with the words, "The master is coming," he asked them to go out to meet and welcome him. Such love between these two holy souls. While Baha'u'llah addressed him as the master, he in turn, addressing the Bahá'ís of North America about his station, said, "My name is Abdu'l-bahá. My qualification is Abdu'l-bahá. My reality is Abdu'l-bahá. My praise is Abdu'l-bahá." The meaning of Abdu'l-bahá, as we all know, is servant of glory or servant of God. Abdu'l-bahá was the beautiful, the brilliant, the adoring eldest son to whom Baha'u'llah in his will entrusted his faith, whom he singled out for honors and blessings on account of his sheer merit, and whose perfection aroused, Shoghi Effendi tells us, an envy as deadly as that of Joseph's brothers, as deep as that in the heart of Cain. During his lifetime, Baha'u'llah would appoint Abdu'l-bahá as his deputy on many occasions, whether it had to do with dealing with officials or with his entourage. He transcribed tablets that Baha'u'llah dictated. He watched over and promoted the interests of his fellow exiles. He purchased the site for and directed the construction of the Shrine of the Bab. He negotiated successfully the release of Baha'u'llah from the 9-year confinement within the walls of the prison of Akka. It was Abdu'l-bahá who tried again and again to get the illustrious Badi his memorable interviews with Baha'u'llah. After his father's ascension in 1892, Abdu'l-bahá was, according to Baha'u'llah's last will and testament, made the center of his mighty covenant, the successor of the manifestation of God himself, and the sole interpreter of his teachings. His responsibilities were enormous. He was also left almost alone in the world to face the enemies of the cause. "We have made thee a shelter of mankind, a shield unto all who are in heaven and on earth, a stronghold for whosoever hath believed in God, the incomparable, the all-knowing," wrote Baha'u'llah. As mentioned earlier, Abdu'l-bahá should not be viewed as an ordinary human being who persevered in his efforts until he was appointed by Baha'u'llah as his successor. Rather, he should be seen as having been created by God for the purpose of becoming the recipient of God's revelation for this age. It is quite significant that the birth of Baha'u'llah's revelation did not take place until the person of Abdu'l-bahá, that vehicle designed to receive and contain its energizing forces, was present in the world as a child. It is also very interesting to note that the Bab said that the advent of a manifestation of God depends upon the existence of a person, the first believer, who has the capacity to understand and embrace his cause. Should such an individual be found among mankind, God will immediately reveal himself and will not postpone his revelation, even for a fraction of a minute. The Bab gives the example of his own revelation and states that since the appearance of Muhammad, it had taken 1260 lunar years until someone like Mullah Hussein acquired the capacity to know and recognize God's messenger. The Bab further asserts that had Mullah Hussein been ready to acknowledge the truth of his cause one moment earlier than he did, he would have correspondingly revealed himself to him that much sooner.